good morning. Daddy Chris here from SRTV London. It is Wake Up Nigeria. Hope you had a brilliant night. It's Tuesday, the 21st of May. I know now because I'm very conscious of the dates. May is my month, so I always remember when it is this and this and this. Sometimes I don't remember the most important day. And with that, by the way, yeah, this is what we do here. We look at some of the things that are happening in Nigeria. We try and take a look at what is happening in the entertainment world, the state of the nation. We look at sports and we look at the political, who is playing the game in the political arena. And most importantly for me, when I always talk about politics, as you guys know, I always look at it from the economic point of view because politics simply means management. And management is what are you managing? Economy. I can always say to people, anything you talk to me about and I cannot relate it to how you make money or how it relates to the well-being of the person. And even when you talk of social issues, I always trace it from economy. Everything in life is about the economy, and that is what I try to do when I come into any show. Like today, a lot is lined up, and I'm not going to waste time at all. I want to quickly bring my ladies. They are ready. And let's start with Abuja.
Good
Very,
morning.
very, 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 very. Uh, mother of earth. That is how God is. Yeah? Out of a woman, the world was condemned, and from a woman, Mary, the word has been redeemed. How are you?
Good morning, Daddy Chris. How is
London,
London today? And good
London
morning,
is what it is. Yes, we keep
Princess.
thinking well. Things are good. Things are good. So
Okay.
I know as usual, Abuja is kinky. What is happening? Are you guys okay? It's wicked
Okay,
to
it
you
comes
back.
the good news. I think we talked about it yesterday about the kidnap. I think Princess was asking me yesterday if I was aware of the kidnap that took place in Abuja. But today is a good news because they have been rescued by the police. And that kidnap took place around Dawaki area here in Abuja. But me, what I'm surprised is Dawaki is actually not a village. Dawaki is an open place close to Gwarinpa before Dusi and Kubwa. So I wonder how kidnap actually took place there. But the victim have been rescued, although some are actually in the hospital right now receiving treatment because of their unconscious state. So
Yes.
that's actually related to news in Abuja.
So how is President Tinubu? Is he okay? Is he up and running? Because we can see that labor are on his neck. Oh. The man, he said he will give us, if Tinubu has not given us any result as at today in terms of minimum wage, there's going to be an issue. We're coming to that. Let's not worry. Let's quickly have Princess on board. Princess,
Good
you don't
morning,
look
Daddy
another
Chris.
woman.
Good morning,
What about?
Mary.
Uh,
Good morning.
in fact, now you get London now because I know you're going to tell us the preparation for Nigerian week is on. So what is happening, lady?
Yes, a lot is going on, and like I said yesterday, we're putting on all hand on deck to bring in as much communities as we can. It's not about a group of pressing. This is about the whole country, Nigeria, and so we tend to carry everybody along this time around. Not regardless of where you're from, the tribe. All we want is just come and represent your tribe and your people. And of course, we have a lot of activities already lined up for that event. We're going to be bringing in, like we said, different food culture and people. And so we are actually on it, and hopefully this year will be more successful than last year.
No doubt. I'm very confident that we're going to do a better event this year. Thank you very much, Princess. And thank you all for making this year a success. Don't forget, we are creating a brand here. You understand? Nigerian Week is come to stay. It's a yearly event that we will celebrate in London. And I can tell you that two other countries are telling us to bring the event to their place. I'm talking about how it is. So we're going to have maybe Nigeria week in Canada, and we're going to have one in the US as well. So this is how easy things can expand. Let's keep it up. I know it's hard. Anything that cannot inconvenience you cannot push you to the next level. That I believe, and we are on it. Thank you so much. I'm really grateful for to see you guys taking on the challenges. It's not easy. All right, today is 21st of May 2024. And a lot is happening. And I think we should look at what is happening in the country today. And on that basis, I'm going to say, let's take a look at some of the state of the nation. What is going on in Nigeria? the papers are going to help us a lot on this. So we can might decide to just quickly take a look at the papers this morning, because most of the times we don't read the papers. But I can see a lot on the. I just scan through the headlines now, and I can see a lot happening. I think maybe we should just take a look at some of the papers and use that as a point to drive our story today. Because uh, most important thing for me right now is, you know, guys know how I feel. It's the labor crisis with the federal government. You understand? If the federal government is, if they're serious, if they know what they're supposed to do, or they have a plan for Nigeria, and your people are saying we want this amount of money to be paid. If I'm the federal government of Nigeria, I will not be challenging labor. I will not be talking to labor, hey, we cannot do this. Instead, I'll be saying, okay, you said I should pay you so amount of money. Now I want those of you who are working to make me so amount of money so I can pay you that money. How about throw the body back to labor? You understand? And that what we do one thing. We spike one important thing which we were looking for: productivity. All right. You want decent wages, right? I'm saying federal government, I'm Tinubu. Okay, let us go on the table and talk. All right. Which department is talking? You all talk for yourself. You understand? Oh, Ministry of Information, come and talk. Ministry of this, come and talk. NTA. I will not be feeding NTA. If channels, I'm talking now, all right? If channels as a TV station can fund itself and make a lot of money and get their staff better pay than NTA, then we have a problem. You know what I will do? I will not spoon feed, I will not be feeding NTA, your staff. NTA will start making money. Where do I have all the resources? NTA have more resources, the largest TV station in Africa, where the federal government is still feeding them. You see the problem? And that's why the federal government cannot pay. Now, this I'm coming with another thing. Take a look at our universities. Princess, look at your university, for instance. Look at the sites, look at the resources, look at Uniben, look at UI, this UNN. Oh my God. These are universities with resources. In fact, unbelievable resources. You understand? And yet, the Covenant University, which is a small quack, is making money, turning out better graduate than them. No. Are you coming to me for more money? I ain't gonna give you. I'm gonna give you more money. But you know what? I'm gonna be productive. How about that? You understand? It's okay to say let's federal government. So until this dialogue turn in that direction, it's a failure in my book. And perhaps we need to be looking at that carefully. Federal government, then see the government needs advice. You understand? To be honest, they need advice. They just jump in. They still running Nigeria the traditional way. That time is gone. The traditional way of doing things get to move. We need a different approach right now. We cannot continue to do the same thing and expect a different result. All right? Labor, 1 million naira minimum wage is acceptable to me. You understand? But we need to talk. We need to talk. I'm talking across all sectors. Even if I'm a private employer, you want to be having the same wages, fine. But we need to talk. All right? At the end of the day, you find that the uprising from the federal government, from the government and the people will bring out something. Because we need to make the money. How do I pay you if we're not making the money? You understand? In fact, if not, oh yeah, how does the federal government of Nigeria actually pay, Princess? Let's start from there.
In fact, one of the stories that has been trending since yesterday, talking about in Nigeria, it's the governor of Imo State, Hope Uzodinma,
Okay.
coming that with the way things are in Nigeria, he feels that if other countries are actually making, they are running their country through the educational system, he doesn't see any reason why Nigeria educational system is actually having issues. We can harness it if we wish to. And of although he has been, he has been receiving a lot of bashing as well, because Nigerians, especially the youth, have been dragging him since yesterday, saying he has no right to say such a thing. Where
Wow.
you're trying to compare your educational system with that of maybe UK that runs their country, that education is a major part of the economy. Meanwhile, you know what they've put in place, talking about, having quality, good education compared to what we have. And so you don't have a right to say so, knowing fully well that even in your state, you have he has been dormant according to
to
most of
them.
the people, yes, most of the experts that spoke, that you have been dormant. There's nothing, we don't hear anything about Imo State, nothing is happening there. And then you're coming out to tell the federal government, or because he is not saying that since we have a lot of private institution, government institutions, and religious,
Yes.
institutions
Going
that are
into the
running very, yes, that are running very well. That means that's one sector the government actually look into. Don't neglect it. See to their demands. You can harness it, especially now that you're giving out the student loan. Let's see the way we can revive the economy, the educational system. And so maybe even though people have been, bashing him since yesterday, insulting him here and there for saying that, but maybe too, we should look into that. You will always say that that is not about, saying the educational system is not working. It's something the government can really get so much from. That's if they try to invest in it as well. We've seen the system here, like you will always say, they will be the one to attract you. They put everything in place to make sure that they meet your demand or whatever you're expecting, so
princess, they
you
are
can
attracting
come
people from Nigeria. The UK
everywhere in the
education
world.
system is attracting people from all over the world to come and study here. One, they will talk good about the system. Not all of them are that great, but they talk good of it. But at the end of the day, they're making money. You see, UK economy is based on services. The services we render, and education is one of them. I'm happy, but Ngozima, I don't like him, but he's right here. Princess, the guy is right. You know, when I come to run Urobo television, one of the things I said in Urobo land is I'm going to take all the schools from the government. Meaning, look at the concept. It sounds crazy. I said the government should give me the primaries and the secondary schools in Urobo nation. That I will pay I will pay the government money because I want the whole schools. I will take it and pay government money. And they are wondering. I said, wow. Say they're wondering. I said, no. Because if private, just have you seen some of the poor churches? Local churches, mushroom churches, they have a school. And the school is making money. I remember when my office was in Lagos, the dam was a kindergarten school, making serious money. The, guess what, princess? The school fees was only about 15,000 naira. Eh? That was the school fee. So, maybe let's do arithmetic here. 15,000. If you have only 200 students, you're already in business. So, 15 every 3 months you get 15,000 per 200 students. You understand? That everybody in Nigeria can pay 15,000 naira.
Have you also considered the fact that students are also owing? Not that all of them meet up with paying of school fees
Many,
and
many. When you know
that
that the school,
other that
if it's
school
not
owners are paying.
government, Mary, if it's not government school, when you dey born pikin, you go know say the pikin go school. Now government is telling you you're not getting it for free. Mary, if we don't do this, who's gonna pay? This is what Uzodima is saying. Now, there are some clever students, you give them scholarship. All right? Scholarship will always be there. There are some less privileged in society you will help. But what we're saying is that some people who can afford it are even getting it for free, which is not necessary. And at the end, this is what is happening now. Those who can afford it are now sending their children to too much to an exhaust the school they're sending them abroad. Whereas those who cannot afford it don't have a school at all. But if the government has moderated, those who can afford it should be paying. Those who cannot afford it, then the system work for everybody. People can afford 30,000 naira school fees in this country easily. And imagine, instead of me sending my child abroad, that I'm asked to pay 30,000 and have my child in a decent, how will I put it, in a decent hostel. Why will I send him abroad?
There is no decent hostel in Nigerian federal
Maybe
school.
what I'm saying now
Federal
is that
school does not have
we can
any
make it
decent.
so.
You need to see the
Maybe,
picture that surfaced the other time about University of Nigeria and Suka. The
uh,
UNN their hostel after the kind of I think they paid maybe 30 something K for hostel for a year or something, maybe more than that. But
it's
the
too
hostel was not
small.
built
Maybe that money is too small.
because
How
the
can you
hostel was
pay
built for
30,000 for
because of
hostel?
based on time. It was that bad. Like this way a student will how can the person concentrate and study? It was not
Mary,
looking good.
Mary, Mary, let's get something right. Right?
Mhm,
You went to higher institution, right?
mhm.
I went to
Yes.
higher institution.
Good.
Now, it doesn't mean because that particular one was bad. We know that normally students, then way back when you go to my school, then we had different hostels in school, you know.
Yeah.
We have the private hostels, not private as in outside, they are for the school, but private in the terms that they are more higher than the other. So you go to
Yes.
where you know where you can afford. And then we had the ones I think fall to a room. I never lived in school hostel. I was always out of camp. But you know, the ones you can afford where maybe two or three or four in a room. Then we have the public ones where or the other ones where you have 8, 10, 12 in a room. And don't forget also that we students, um, there's something I learned way from school. Now, it doesn't mean that some other ones are bad. We know that this institution is not, some of them are not working, they are not doing right, but there are some too. Give credit to them. Way back in my time, there were hostels in school, school hostels that were very, very nice, that were okay for people to live in. And even these other ones, you see students packing their friends, a room that is meant to be maybe for 10 persons or 12. You see some students, you know, bringing friends, squatting their friends and all that. And before you know, they are up to like 30 in a room, 20 in a room. And some of these people are very dirty as well. They don't clean the environment, they don't do what they are supposed to do. Certain things happened way back in my school, then in this public hostel. There are not some things I want to say here. But so, in as much as we know that the government is not doing enough, and that is why we, some of us that had we could afford houses outside, we actually just went to school and we start paying rent out. We didn't want that whole struggle. And so don't forget also that students can actually still come together. It's the same thing, just that the hostels have some basic amenities like the constant water, the constant lights because of your reading, and you have access to classroom to go and read as well. If not, there are still other options. What we saw what happened at University of Suka. Anyway, that is not a good thing. It's not a good example, but
Yeah.
there are still some that are working. Mary, that's the point I want to make. There are some too that have good and clean hostels.
Let's look at what Uzodima is saying. All right. And now, what Uzodima is saying that in the UK, if the UK can now make education a source of income,
Mhm.
and now, maybe this is the shameful part. Most of the lecturers in the UK today are from Nigeria.
Yes.
And then they are now attracting students from Nigeria to come and study in the UK. So many Nigerians are teaching Nigerians in the UK, and we are paying the UK government. Clap for yourself. Uzodima is saying, how about making our education system work
Work.
so that we can attract students from around the world? There will be no need to go outside to study. In fact, there will be some will go out. There are some courses we may not be good at. Maybe we'll go and study artificial intelligence. Those of them will come home and lecture. Listen, Mary, most of us will want to come home and lecture at a particular age. I'm 57 years old. I want to be home. I want to be lecturing at home, for instance. You understand? So if the system is there, if you pay me well, I want to be there. Meaning the Nigerian institution will begin to attract good lecturers. Let me use the word. And when you have good lecturers, good students will come.
Sure.
And look at what the lecturer that joined us the other day said. You don't go to school when you want. You don't just go and read handouts. If you are in a private, if a system is organized, you will go and do your job. Come to UK here. When students are on holiday, the lecturers are in school. They don't go on holiday or they don't abuse our guests. Who are you? You understand? So the system is, because it is run on what? Merit, credit. You get misbehaved, you see the door. Any mistake from a lecturer in the UK, he's out with speed, even if not prison. So they know that they are there to do a job. They go there, they do the 9 to 5. The hours are complete, Mary. They don't go when they want. What you're going to get is result. This
Yes,
goes
so another thing, let's relay what was saying now to the punch, because the major headline we have in the
good,
punch is student loan.
good.
1.2 million beneficiaries listed as scheme begins Friday.
Yeah.
Students in 226 tertiary institutions to benefit. Admission letter, NIN, BVN needed. Now that's the major story here.
They are not working with. That NIN is so annoying because for the fact that this book can block my second line, telling me that my NIN is mismatched. So they are not giving it to the other person, my own NIN. No, no, it's not
Uh,
making sense. So. Me,
and
I'm just, me, I've been saying this thing, no, princess. Me, I feel like there will still be negative news that will come from this loan, this student loan. Because if you say you want to
Yeah,
join it,
you know that, Mary. I think my opinion on this is that in as much as we know that uh there I just believe in life that whatever it is, there are positive and negative side to everything, and of course advantages and disadvantages as well. So I believe that in as much as people feel like Nigeria nothing works, these two will not work very well, because students are involved. I want to believe that it will work in as much as we know that Nigerians, we don't have data, we don't have a lot of things in place. My worry here is the NIN, BVN, and all these things needed,
needed, yeah.
admission letter, and all that. I just want a situation where these systems are not, misused or mishandled by, selfish people. That the student also, we can see the amount of people already listed. We can see people from 226 different institutions, and we can see that students are already, some of the students is a welcome development to them. But another thing that I'm worried about is the state of our institution. Now, you're giving out this loan, and I want the institution, if they can be actually, revamped. Institutions should be like that Chris said, they should be a learning place, not a place where students also go to and they feel depressed. Since you're giving them money, not just the money alone for your fees, for your to take care of yourself, your handout and all that, but the environment itself, let it be conducive so that this money, they're using, they will have the spirit, to actually learn and to, to take something home. And we
Princess, sorry to cut you. The question is part the money we're giving to the students as loan. Part of it will be school fees, right?
Yes,
yes,
sir.
Good. So that school fees goes to one place, the university. All
Sure.
right. Uh-huh. So what we're seeing now, Princess, university should charge more.
Are you
All right.
serious?
Yes. So yes, if we want to get a good result, it's not going to be free. In the UK, Mary, the
That
school
is,
fees here is
if
£9,000. No, that's for
university
home
should
students.
charge
Oh.
more.
I'm not talking of foreign students. Mary, let me finish. Sorry, my daughter.
Okay.
For home students, me, if I go to uni in the UK, like I'm doing law now, they charge me 9,200 and something per year. Foreign student pay 14,000.
Hmm.
Quote me. So I'm talking in pounds. So my school fees is about 16 million naira a year. Now, this money, not all of them goes to the school. This is goes to the school, though. I'm not talking of what they give to me. That's not my loan. My loan is different. This is part of my loan. They will pay this one to the school. So a school that receives that amount of money, maybe like Princess is saying something. How can that school not be able to provide social amenities?
Okay, Daddy, because I want to ask you this question.
Go on.
You're in the UK, right? I feel
Yes.
like I think it's easy for students to get access to the loan there in the UK. Maybe semester, I would say if it's like
That's what your government is just doing now. Now
90. Me, I feel like it is not everybody in Nigeria that can access this loan. We know this country. So
no,
what
but
about those
1.2 million beneficiary already.
no,
Come
no,
on.
no, Mary. I think the platform is open for everybody. If you have
everybody?
these are what they actually, if you qualify, let me use the word, because for you to
Exactly.
qualify, you need to have an admission letter to
Yes.
Oh,
show that you
Yeah,
belong to this
in the
particular
UK too, you must
institution.
have admission for people for the money to be given to you.
Of course,
And you
the
have a
government
you have a proof of resident as well. This is what you're saying now, Princess. You have a proof of resident that you are in the UK. You understand? And those are the two important things. If you have those two, then the government know that they're going to invest in you now, and
I
hoping
agree.
that you pay back. Go on, go
And
on.
it's just our government that is releasing this money for students, like the Nigerian government, right?
Yes, it's
So why are
Nigerian
we still
government
owning
thing.
debt? Why are we still owning debt? And things are just difficult in this country because me, I'm confused. I think they should. Why not use
There's
the money?
money for every sector now, Mary. There's money for every sector. That we are owing debt doesn't mean we are completely broke. It's
No,
okay.
Mary, and our own debt does not mean that we should not try to, amend some sectors.
Exactly.
Now, the government, President Tinubu came in. This is his own policy talking about as regarding education. Apparently, he has been there, not being the president prior to now. He has seen that, okay, if I eventually become the president, this is something I think I want to do with the educational system to make it better. And now we've seen that we have a lot of young people, a lot of young intellectuals in the country. And this is the only way, you can, help them. And it is not in as much as it is a loan, Mary. So the government already knows that if these people do not have a job at the end of the day, they can't pay back this loan. So maybe that's the more reason they will try to create more jobs in the future to make sure that these people are able to do what to pay back these loans. Another thing we're supposed to be worrying about is the student not taking advantage, abusing this, opportunity, and maybe, we know a lot of people. If people can actually have fake admission letter, even enter institution, have fake result to go and work. The other day on the news, we saw a fake doctor that was arrested, and we saw a fake lawyer as well. These are people that have been practicing for 8 years. I think that of the lawyer, 8 years already in the system before it was actually identified that this person is not a lawyer, is not even a graduate. So you can imagine that if we have issues like this, these are the things we should be worried about. How are they able to have access to these certificates? How are they able, to penetrate into this system? So these are some of the things we should be worried about as a people, not students, misusing this opportunity, faking all these things. And another thing is good that maybe that's why they actually demanding for BVN, because I want to believe nobody can
Thank
fake that
you.
in
Thank
as
you,
much
Princess.
as people can
They
fake
have to make
admission
they
later.
have to make demand for BVN, and if Nigeria is not safe, then our bank system is safe. Princess, I know there are one or two cases where we say, "Oh, something happened to my bank," but Nigeria, if you have your money in Nigerian bank, it's quite safe. Meaning there is a security there that is working. Meaning that security can be used. That's what the government has done. For you to qualify for this loan, you give us your admission, you give us your NIN, we will have your national identity card, which is the NIN, and of course a unique tax number, so we can trace you. And I think these are legitimate things any government will ask for.
Sure.
What is beauty? What is Mary? What is beautiful here is that, and I support the governor of Imo State saying that we can we can make education our source of income. And I cannot wait but talk about the governorship aspirant in my place. Let's bring that guy in. And Emmanuel said he's going to turn eh, all Nigerian, all the states, general hospitals. He said they are not functioning, they are useless. He's going to turn them to a place where he train medical professionals. Imagine that. If you train medical professionals, Mary, even Nigeria begin to train people that are valuable now, because education will now be meaningful. Supposing this kind of money is geared towards if you want to study medicine or this kind of medicine, this practical medicine, you go to this private school, to this school that the guy was thinking about. If
Yeah.
we train them, in fact, they will go out and work outside the country. Like in the UK, we need nurses. We need nurses like yesterday. People here are getting old. You know, we live older, we live longer than.
And we are here thinking that enough nurses are there in Nigeria that flew to the UK. We are
You
thinking that
abuse nurses. Somebody was studying nurse. Carry work with us. She was being paid 25,000 in Abuja. 25,000. Where would she stay? A nurse. 25,000 naira. Not even up to how much is that in the pounds? That's an abuse. If that guy run, he go run far. So, but the good thing is you have trained them, and now they have opportunities. Look, and yet we're saying that we don't have nurses. We need the hospitals are down. We can solve our problem. Education is skill. Other than making money from it, we will now have quality people, well-trained human beings to man Nigerian sectors. Our challenge also is we don't have the right people in the right places. I know we do parapor, we do all kind of things, but the time will come that the young generation, we know that if I vote this man, voting Tinubu is not my thing. I don't care whether Tinubu is a Yoruba man. I was looking for somebody who will run the country well. That is
yes.
me. No, because I am of sound mind. I can say that. I will not vote for you because of who you are. I won't vote for somebody in my village if he's an idiot. I won't vote for a village fool. I will vote for somebody I know that can move the place to the next level because I am of a sound mind. Let me use that word. So Nigerians, when you go to school, you begin to have these sound minds. And they're going to make good decisions for us. You understand? I won't be, in fact, if you think, there are some parts of the country we don't even want to talk about. All the things we go through today, if you blame young people for doing Yahoo, are you not knowing that the same thing our young girls go on internet today? All the girls are all around girls on internet. Sorry, you understand? It's the
Yes.
situation of the country. And
Yeah,
then
man.
you think a
Remember,
girl really born, a
you
girl
remember
born
she
to
was
want to go into
on
nonsense on
the
the
internet
internet?
advertising herself, talking about if you need her, you understand. If you need like her to like kind of sleep with her, this amount you pay, she's good. If you finish with her, you begin to have open doors, all those kind of things. Like a matured lady, she not hide her face, so coming out openly, putting on just pants to come online and advertise herself that is business. And we say this is the country we are staying. It's really not funny. Hardship sef cannot
No,
cause this.
it's hardship, Mary. These are hardship.
Hardship,
I know we can talk about the moral part of it. When people are hungry, there's a saying I say, decent people lie. In life-threatening situation, a decent man will lie. Oh, not be me, oh, not be me. Oh. When you see death, even Peter saw it. Peter in the Bible, when they tell, are you the one following Jesus? The man lie, oh. Was Peter not a faithful person? Now God, Peter see, no say he go kill him. Peter denied Jesus. In life threatening, when things are hard, Mary, there are things a human being will do. Nigeria is in a state where anybody can do anything, but we can solve our problem with education. I agree. And what I like, Princess, is you're on mute, Princess. That's why I keep talking. You're still on mute.
there's
Even
something
though
it's not like I'm diverting, but Peter said something yesterday that she was worried about Peter Obi and Atiku. That she was thinking, or she sees Peter Obi to be different from the rest, but she's not understanding this their closeness. But I saw something this morning. Atiku saying that he will support Peter Obi in 2027 election. I'm not understanding. Are they now friends or what? Which one is that he's going to support Peter Obi for 2027 election? Because I'm confused with that part.
Mary, that is politics, right? The more
Yes.
you look, the less you see. Not naturally anywhere in the world, that is politics. Now we've seen that apparently Atiku is seeing that Nigerians are actually tired of him, or it might not be having, coming out again would be another. Nigerians will still not know, be happy, because prior to now, if we're talking about how the country got into this mess, of course,
Yeah.
article will be mentioned as well. So trying to exonerate yourself, Peter Obi, people perceive him to be a good man. And though I think at this point everybody will want to rally around him, the fact that when you rally around him, that also will give you some kind of cover, some kind of shade to say, okay, just so he's working with Peter, maybe we can reckon with him. And I'm thinking that him saying he will support Peter Obi,
Support. Yes.
we cannot be too sure. Let's just hope, wait and see, because at the dying minute you might see something different. That's politics. They might come out with another issue. Who takes what and who takes this or that? That's the thing, it's usually a thing of bargain. When it comes to that time, they will start negotiating. Okay, what's my own in all this? What's my take home? And that is where they usually have issues from. We know how Atiku, Peter Obi, Wike, all these people, Saraki, all of them, they were so united way back. And at the end of that 9 minutes, we saw what happened. It was a total disaster, a show of shame over who takes this and who takes that. And so I will not say anything. I keep saying it. The alliance, Labour Party already said they welcome Atiku in as much as it's going to be of their betterment in the upcoming election. And Atiku now, because he's also trying to work against the sitting president, we want to join forces with Obi to make sure, they pull him somehow down. But me, I will want to wait and see, like I said.
You
That's
know,
it.
the truth is, Mary, and young ladies, you guys are trying, but the news that filtered to me, it's not. I'm not verifying it, but actually, Atiku didn't want to run this last election. Right? He said if they were allowed to give the road to an Igbo man, that he will not run. But PDP refused to zone it. That people like Wike were saying they will run. You understand? That it was Wike that drove Peter from PDP, not him.
Wike.
I don't know the truth yet. Let's be sincere with that.
Anything that is not on the news, we see it as if it's not verified.
Yes, so
And
it's
so we'll not
unverified.
discuss about
So
that.
I'm
And when
speculating.
something happen,
Yes,
people will always, people will, and in as much as we know Wike is a troublesome person, when something happen and Wike is there, everybody will want to say, I'm not the one is Wike, I'm not the one is Wike, because of course, even Wike will not run away from it. If you even accuse him, you did this, okay,
it's a
I did
yes.
it, what will you
He's
do?
a madman.
And yeah, so we've seen that. Like I said, we'll watch and see that unfold. And on the Punch newspaper, there's a story there I want us to talk on. Now, Jonathan, the ex-president, went into, Fubara and Wike's issue,
Hmm.
and because he's seeing that it's becoming unbecoming, Fubara is not being allowed to concentrate, even though Fubara said some days ago that his 1 year in office is better off than that of Wike's 8 years. And they've been throwing tantrum, they've been, I think Fubara is actually ready for the wall now. He has been, if Wike says something, he fires back, and that is a place we really want the two of them to be at, keep firing. But in as much as they are firing at each other, I want Fubara to also concentrate on the state. And now
He's
the
not
ex-president, you said?
he's not concentrating. Can't you see the LMA? It was on the news yesterday. Just that we didn't talk about it. That LMA road, the killings that is going on there because of the bad road. Like I feel like he's not really concentrating on working on the state. It's just the wicked pressure and all of that that is just focusing on right now, which is wrong.
Ah. Anyway, the former president said that this fight will destabilize the Niger Delta. Fact. All right. And how does it destabilize us? It's things like this. You understand? Now the rules are bad, the governance. They are not focusing on governance. But one interesting thing, it wasn't yesterday or today, Prince said, they invited the former president to come and commission one one gigantic project with some billions of money spent. That is where this man want to hold Wike. I'm sure Wike spent all that money. But that being said, you understand? Two things I have against that. Is it time for those kind of projects? You understand? Look, Princess, perhaps this is where we should be thinking cleverly now. We are spending that whopping amount of money to construct Lagos Calabar Road. All right? We couldn't use that money to revive the education system that will immediately change life. Oh God! You see, when you have a functioning education system, like the governor of Abia of Imo State just said, you'll be making money, you'll be producing quality human beings for your nation. That should be a primary concern of any wise person. Princess is like your parents now. The first thing they did, let's go back to our parents. They knew that some of them they don't have to build some houses. They spend the money to make us go to school first. The money our parents would have used to build houses, they used it no make my pikin go school first. You know what they do? They build it tomorrow with us. They could have built houses. Some of them refused to. And it's now take that and Nigeria. You have Nigerians in bad state, kidnapping, this and that, poor girls becoming runs. You ignore them and you are constructing massive road or like a Wike and Fubara now. They are using impressing us with some gigantic projects of infrastructure. All I ever hear today, tomorrow is infrastructure. It's annoying me. Whereas life could be built. Imagine what we're talking about now. If that Imo man, why don't you start it in your state? That's what I'm going to ask him. If federal government don't want to start, Zodima, why you not doing for your state first?
Exactly what some of the people who actually analysts were asking him since yesterday. They've been asking him that even though it's a good initiative, but you've not done nothing in your state. So why didn't you start this, and then you can now call on the federal government to
That this is what I'm
follow
doing.
the footstep. This is what I'm doing,
Thank you.
instead
That,
of just
that would be the only criticism I would give to him. You understand? Because this thing is not, Princess, like I said, I was going to take all the primary school and secondary school in Uroboland. It was a proposal I wrote to the Delta State government. Since you cannot run it, give them to me. I will pay you monthly. But I will have the best school in Urobo Nation, and everybody will be coming there to come and study. Because I know
Yeah.
Nigerians want their children to study in a good school. That's why we send our children to church school, to all the schools, anywhere. They don't care who. As long as you know, say that school will give your child results, you go there. You understand? So if Urobo have the best school, my belief is everybody will send their children to us and be making money. I say if the government cannot do it, this goes down to what Uzodima is saying and what I see with what I call toffee ideology of our politicians, spending our money on things that are not important. Our parents have shown us good example. Parents will stop. They will stop everything to make sure the child go to school. Why do you think they do that? Do you know they don't want to build a house?
And that is why it's very worrisome. A case study of, Aushi Eboma, traveling there is like a dead trap.
Okay.
And then you leave this major road. Like I said before, the floodings that did major damages or destruction to the east-west road. And now when you go from Warri to Port Harcourt, some of the bridges are collapsed, and the other side is even at the verge of collapsing. So when people get there, they drive, there's a signpost, you drive very slow. And so these are life-threatening situation. And the Minister of Work is supposed to, first of all, before you begin new project, make sure we have the new ones that work, the old ones are still, valid, they're working. And these has been caused, people have been calling on the government to make sure to do what they're supposed to do, because if we have, just in case we have another serious flooding this year, now we've been crying about floods issues like that, what will become of these, federal roads or east-west road? This is a
Princess,
road that people are flying on daily basis, on
princess,
daily basis.
let's see what this government is doing. If they're sincere, I'm beginning to like one thing, except when I criticize this Calabar road, I said it's a good project if and only if there will be toll gate to make the money back. This is my position. You understand? The government is spending money as if they win lottery. Even if you win lottery, you will not spend money like Nigerian government. You spend, you don't think where the money will come back. We talked about housing yesterday, right? And we concluded here that if we embark on that housing project in one state and go to the other, the state can actually, you don't need the federal government, the state can make money from housing. You create jobs, you create money, you make money. Housing, oh. So, Princess, this now asks the question. Federal government is saying they cannot pay. Now we've been able to talk about how education can make money. We now see how housing can make money. We're not talking how roads can make money. Is the government thinking along that way, or they are spending money like people that win lottery? Perhaps that is our problem, Princess. Our problem is our government don't talk about how they make money. They only talk about how they spend money.
They spend money. That's true.
You understand? So we having, and the problem we have is, I said it again, we having a champagne appetite on the Coca-Cola paycheck. When you get your champagne you want drink and your paycheck now only Coca-Cola go fit buy you, where you go end up? See the problem. We have all the chances to pay 1 million naira minimum wage. We can't do it if and only if we do things that will bring back money. So that's the topic I really want us to look at today. The bottom line of this thing is, if the labor want to make money, want 1 million naira minimum wage, the federal government should go on the table. They should call me. You understand? I'll call labor. Yeah, sit down. We're gonna pay 1 million. You understand? Minimum wage. But this is what's gonna happen. And everybody should wake up in the country. Any sector must make money. Go to work, they go sleep. Oh, most of the ministries, they are useless. You can tell. Have you been to the ministry there? Go there, you will see that they are not working. They are useless, princess. They are useless. Who gonna pay them?
But I pay them.
They are punishing themselves. They are punishing the nation. They are punishing the future of their children.
I remember when Oyo Eta became the head of civil service. And all those gra they used to do at first to show that, oh, I've been appointed, oh, I've assumed office. And the next thing, he actually told the correspondent then in my former office, the people covering that the beat, that she will be going to the ministry at maybe 7 a.m. in the morning. And so she went there. She was in her car, and she could see that as about to some minutes to 8, she went into the ministry, and you could see that there were nobody there. I think two or three persons she saw. She took pictures with them. They were rewarded with laptops and some other things like that. And she was 30 almost. And I know people started, such a thing, of course, the news will fly. But just because some of them were still actually sleeping in their bed, it will still take
Yes.
time for them to freshen up to get to, the office. And before they came, eventually 10, 11, some, their phones were even off as usual. And another day she went there around 2 3, and she found out that they've closed. And so these were some of the issue Oyoita then wanted to tackle. But at a point she had to stop, and then they went back to that. And you could see that period that she was doing that it's 8 o'clock, go to Eagle Square, everywhere is filled up. The
Good.
ministries, you see people, you see like
Thank you, princess.
everywhere was, that okay, this place is actually a hub, where workers hub. You see people, the crowd, everybody rushing to their offices, people being active, doing what they're supposed to do, on
Coming
dusting
up
their
with
files.
projects, princess.
And you know
You
that
see,
most
coming
of the
up with
files,
projects and implementing them. They should
yes,
come up with projects. You see, princess, you see what we say now. God will bless you. The so-called ASU going on strike daily. You know what message I ask them? Are they working? Or they just come and give handout to students? And if I sleep with our guests, that's all they do. ASU, the lecturers should do their job. You know what? I said it. The lecturers must do their job. You want to be paid, fine, you'll be well paid. Your strike will not be coming unpunished. Federal government, I'll pay you this money, but I'm going to monitor you now. Anytime I see one lecturer misbehave, he's out to the door. He's go to prison.
That's it.
He goes
That's
to
just
prison. You understand? So, brother
that. Because
princess,
you know that they even make money from the students, even apart from the
exactly.
fact
They
that they
help
claim.
them. In fact, I know they pay handout. Look at it. I
Yes,
think
they make money from them. Sometimes they collect money just to pass them, and they won't
you
talk
see.
about that.
No, no. Oh, is it not? So, exactly. So, and these are the same people coming out to tell us, oh, we're going on strike. Strike for who? So, yes, we will pay you well. But you know what? My only take, princess, is you must do the job. And the federal government, any project you do, must make money. Don't. The money they are spending now on that Lagos Calabar road, if there's no plan to make the money, you are like somebody that won lottery. Where did the federal government of Nigeria win this lottery? Una know where they for make am? Maybe una government win lottery when they take construct that road. Oh, it's a good project. From where? Where did they get the money? So you think the money is just going to come from nowhere? That's what Nigerians think. Oh, money will just come from nowhere, and they will just construct road for you. They will just build airport for you, without thinking how the money will come back. Now, why should them not be punished? And it's evil. We're wicked generation. This is the most wicked generation Nigeria will ever produce. And either because we are stupid, or because we refuse to be sincere with ourselves. How do you expect government to spend that whopping amount of money on constructing Lagos Calabar Road, and there's no plan to make a penny back? The same thing now, we're gonna wait to princess. I know they expect the federal government to send this money, to give this bursary, this money as bursary. Government is saying no more bursary, loan. You understand? I don't believe in bursary. I believe in loan. This money you're gonna pay back, but you pay back when you can, at an ease. It's better for you and it's better for the country. Then the government will make money back, and that money is what they will give your children. If you collect the money today as bursary, you don't give back. Where will the government have money to give to your children tomorrow?
anyway, we do hope that with Uzodi man's suggestion, he should start from his state so that the
I
government
will pray so.
also will follow
Pray
suit.
so.
Maybe he does not have
Pray so.
money.
Usodima is been dormant. Truly,
How can
the
you have money
Imo
if it's not
State,
making money? Princess, so
Imo State,
princess, princess,
Imo
I'm not
State
sure you
is
guys
dormant
understand me.
compared to when Okorocha was, the governor. I don't see what's happening in Imo State. To be sincere,
But they
we have
condemn this
about
corruption now. They condemn
No,
him that he didn't do
baby,
it.
princess, so the thing you are seeing now are the result of what the governors have been doing. No, it's not this present one. So if
is what I'm
Okorocha,
saying. Is what I'm
yes,
saying.
yes,
So
if
I
Okorocha
don't know
had
if
invested,
the
no, princess, listen to me. If Okorocha has done something that in line with what I'm saying now, then the state will be
Yes.
making money. Then
They
the next
decide
government will be making money. We will not be where we are now. But any governor that comes is to spend the money that is available on roads, on infrastructure. You know, see what you can do, you go read the news. Then they go pilgrimage. That is what a governor is spending the state money on.
anyway,
Don't
we have other
apologetic.
stories here. We need to move forward because
Go on,
of
man.
time.
Go on, man.
And there's a story here that is very disturbing on Punch newspaper. Food imports hit 3 trillion naira over flooding and insecurity. Now, this is coming from CBN. We've
Yeah.
seen that in as much as we produce, we have, produce at home, but because of
We
especially
don't produce,
insecurity,
princess. We don't produce. We don't
we
produce.
produce a lot, sir. That
What do
increase.
you produce?
Let's say Benue alone, we know the amount of yam that comes from that state, and that is something Nigerian feeds on daily basis.
that the
And
can say we don't produce. We produce now.
yes, when we talk about cassava, when we talk about the normal gari people eat, we know the amount of gari
Princess,
Nigerians feed on
princess,
daily.
when
No,
they
we're
talk of
talking about.
artificial intelligence, you say you get autism. When they talk about, princess, I know what I'm saying. You want to be autism?
Hold on, sir. Hold on,
President.
Daddy Chris.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
we're saying is that in as much as we import food, there are some of this food that we feed on daily basis. If you go
Yes.
to any home in Nigeria, what will you see first? That these are the questions you ask. In as much as
Gary,
we import food, right?
rice.
Even now we're producing rice. Look at carrots, vegetables, fruits. These are some of the things we have. But because of insecurity and flooding, we've seen that the import is actually going higher on daily basis. That is the point
So,
that
princess,
decrease.
I'm going to ask a question to two of you. If you are the mother in that house, this is your home, all right? The food you are producing eh, is going to face challenges because of this and this. What do you do?
I didn't, can you take that question again?
I said, if you are in your home, you have children,
Mhm.
all right, and you are producing this food, and the food is not enough, or sometimes there's a challenge of flooding and insecurity now, eh? And so it's going to affect the food. You're not looking for somebody to give you food. If you are the mother, what will you do?
If I'm the mother, I'll definitely cut down on our intake and then look for other ways, options to get that food.
Okay,
Two things.
okay, that is which is clever. If Princess Mary, what will you do?
I think it's the same thing Princess said. It's just to
See,
cut down on
if I am
it.
the mother, I will think about where I can produce more food so that I will have enough for the next season. You understand? That there's going to be flood or something in Nigeria doesn't mean there's no land in Nigeria where there is high land where we can produce food. Niger State is not having flooding problem. Let's quote them. You understand? We have enough land in the country that we
And
truly.
that is why, Daddy Chris, I bet you did not. That is why we're underlining insecurity as well.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
So it's not just about the flooding, but we know that food crisis started way from
This
when we started having insecurity because Benue is no okay. I tell you a story. Before I came back to the UK, now I wanted to shop for my kid sister, so I went to buy yam. I wanted to buy stock the house for her. So when we drove out and they said no Benue yam. This one is not Benue yam. This one is not. And I say, okay, where are the what kind of yam is this? Where is it from? They were saying is some will say is Niger yam, is Taraba yam. It's not as sweet as Benue, but we manage. We know insecurity. You know, go get Benue yam anywhere. You know, those women keep bringing it for you to know that it's not business as
so you
usual.
can pay, you
I
pay
say
more.
you have to manage what you have now.
Yes,
So
that's true.
what am I trying to say? We know before now that Benue yam is that yam that, not about just the sweetness, but the amount which they produce, not just yam, but other things they produce. And now we also know some of the northern states, for instance, we know just for tomatoes and fresh pepper, all those bell peppers they produce. But now the fear of, Benue, we've seen on the news, they will tell you that it is a bandits will come and you will pay them to even guide your farm for you. And when you still harvest, they will share into two and go with one part. And you take one part, and they complain that they don't even make up to, the amount they spend. So what's the essence of going to do this hard work? So these are some of the issues. We underline insecurity first before the floodings. This has been a problem. Look at Kano. Kano produces yam, potatoes, cucumbers, and even carrots and all that. But now, what's going on there? Insecurity, the fear of, bandit. People do not, the ordinary villagers that are farmers. I'm not talking about the elites now. The farmers, they are not able to access their farms. You sent me on an errand, sir, to one Mr. Efe in Delta State. I went to him and he told me this guy is a farmer, a young guy. He's a good farmer. He was the one that told me that. Do I know that he was teasing me? That he mentioned the village, and that's my mother's village. And he said, I lost millions. That he actually bought acres of land. He actually planted, and then Fulani headsmen took over the land, and before you know, they destroyed everything. He was showing me the videos and the pictures. So these are some of the issues. In as much as we say we're looking at it as if it's a lighting, even security, you've not been, a close person has not been attacked, you will not understand what this insecurity is all about. Now, this is somebody that has been attacked, and he's telling you that, I cannot lose my life over farm. Oh. That's why I came to my own land, where I know this is my village. Let me do small one. These are people with, these are people with ideas.
Productive Nigerians. Productive Nigerians. I
Yes.
agree with you. Again, the only thing now, Princess, I'm still going to throw the question to you. How do we, federal government of Nigeria has been, they failed us because one of the primary duties of what the reason we have government in the first place is protection of lives and property. And the government of Nigeria has not done so. And perhaps that is one thing that as they're spreading this money, as they're spreading money on infrastructure, if they spread the money to even solve our insecurity problem, maybe we'll be happier.
And that is because they are benefiting from insecurity. It's something that they have, is a severe, how will I put it? You don't plant a tree like an orange tree and you expect to, not to, okay, you do not bring home ant-infested firewood and do not expect lizard, come into your homes. That is a parable.
That's a
No,
common.
I think there's a saying, I can't remember who said it, that once insecurity is over, is it for 72 hours, you know that there's a hand of, it's no longer a hand of monkey in the soup, it's a hand of human being in the soup.
Basha.
So these are some of the issues. So we're thinking that the government, they know what to do. You can say this money is, like we said yesterday, they're being paid to account. They call with phone numbers, and they interact with people, kidnappers' families, the victim's family rather. So we can track them if they want to track them. It's not a rocket science like you will
I
say.
agree with you. I agree
They
with
can
you.
be tracked. So the government already know. We cannot tell them what to do because they know what to do. Anyway, there's a story here that says Lagos suits for 840 event centers.
Hmm. Is it on Punch?
On
Yes,
Punch
the red
newspaper.
one with the red color.
Now, according to the commissioner, this is because they didn't meet up. Uh, you know, they are insisting they didn't meet up with whatever guidelines, and so government says it's shot over 400 and 840 event center and social facilities for safety violation and non-compliance of extant laws. I don't know what that means, but
Yes, maybe. I think we should allow the government to do their job here. Last time we were blaming the Nollywood producers, and we were saying the government did not do their own job. You understand? That is why they allow people to go in there to take that risk, which led to the death of our movie star, Junior Pope. You understand? We complain because government did not do what they're supposed to do. Sometimes it is very important. If you go to any event in the UK, the first thing they tell you, they show you the fire exit, they show you everything. You understand? That is very important, and you will see it.
Yes, I actually love that because you might want to go into the details of that news, but we know Lagos for what Lagos is. You might don't be surprised that some of these buildings, event center, they are not even safe to go into, and then some of them the rate they are not padded, so the noise they can contribute to bring out a lot of noise in the
We call it
environment.
public nuisance to others.
Public users, and you know that Lagos is a kind of place that houses are choked together. Unlike Abuja, you might have an event center here and you have to drive far before you start seeing houses or any other thing. And so maybe no green areas, no parking areas. So I think they have their reasons, and
Yes.
it's not
We hope they are not
something
victimizing their enemies or their political
that
enemies.
is another thing as well.
But otherwise, we want the government to do their job. You understand? These are the things we talk about, young ladies. If we allow government to do what they're supposed to do, then things will be better for everybody. Would have averted the death of Junior Pope by making sure regulations are in place. Before you do this, these are the things you need to do. It looks cumbersome in the UK. We are complaining. The government is saying this. You will not do certain things without employer liability insurance. You understand? Without your liability insurance, they will not give you anything. Why?
Yeah, the
Because
thing is that this Nollywood, some of them they are still very, very ignorant. I know that we are talking about government. That's the thing just shot a movie. I think she posted it yesterday for people to go and watch. There's a scene where they used same river too, you understand? And a boat, and nobody was putting on a life jacket. So I feel like they're still doing the same thing. Maybe they feel like
Don't
maybe that
you
one.
think don't you think that's an old movie, not a new one?
even
It's
if
a
it's
new movie
old,
because
princess,
when they
you
were on set,
understand?
so the
Maybe
market went.
even census
It's a,
board should not even you see most of the
she
things you
just
say in the
posted
movie.
it. She posted when they
No,
were on
no,
set with
no.
Gentle
You know
Jack.
what,
It was
Mary?
a
Why
new.
this is important? Good to raise that. Even census board should even stop that movie from being released. The essence of a movie is also to educate the public. If you're telling
Yes.
me that I can go into this without life jacket, people will begin to practice it. You see now, you see what Jim Ike do for that movie. He do this. Children will try it. But if Jim Ike wear the normal thing, a movie star is like a public. It's an example that people emulate. They must do it in the movie as well. So even censoring movies is important, and perhaps we need to talk about that when it comes to the Nigerian week. Even during censoring some movie, these are important things that they will say you're not supposed to do this because our children might do it. There are some things you see on the internet, they tell you do not try it at home. They want to tell you when you play karat, don't try it at home because you may enjoy yourself. You understand? They will warn you. If you don't, a movie don't warn. So you must be careful that anything you put in movie must be even inside must have health and safety. So what Mary said now is correct. If you make a movie and you know those little health and safety are not in your scenes, eject it, delete it, or else censor board will not allow it. It should be in our psychic so that we know health and safety is important. Happy you said what is happening in Lagos now. Health and safety is key. It's important.
Yeah, I was thinking that maybe
Even
they actually don't want it to be like they are wearing a life jacket on a movie. You understand? Maybe they want it to look real. But I feel
It's not
like this
about
one,
a life jacket. The
no,
moment you go into a river, even in reality in life, when we go into the river, we wear a life jacket.
yes. And in movie, you must wear a life jacket.
Except you're proving that you are from the even I know that the jaws in my state they are fish, we call them fish, they can swim
Yeah, they
very
can
well.
swim.
But even at that, you don't portray that in a movie because a movie like Daddy Chris said is something that is, you're supposed to not just be entertainment, but it's supposed to, educate the people as well. And then we move on to other stories because of time. There is one story in Guardian, Vanguard rather. I want us to take Guardian and of course Daily Trust. Even if it's just look at the headline. When you look at Daily Trust, it's
Okay.
okay. Let's take Vanguard. Look at the head. Mary, what's happening with people in Abuja? Because I know you are in Abuja.
okay,
We
is it like
saw POS anger, frustration over high cost of cash withdrawals, And then there's another story there that is quite, I know people will not want to talk about it. EFCC under fire as Oba of Benin alleges bribery cover-ups. And these are some of the story that caught my attention from the Punch, Vanguard
I
rather.
think it's just for the fact that they find it difficult to get cash from the bank. But the thing is, they have not actually increased the price. And when you make withdrawal before, if they find it difficult to get cash, they tend to increase the price for people that are withdrawing. But for now, I think it's still the same because even yesterday it was still the same price. But they are complaining that they find it difficult to get cash from the bank. So I don't know why banks are not releasing cash for them. See that there's no cash, and even if they go to withdraw, you hardly see 1,000 naira notes. It's just 500 naira. Me, I was even asking them why is that almost all the POS, even the one in Lokogoma, when I went to that house, and the one around this side, everybody is just 500 naira. To see 1,000 naira notes is difficult. I don't know why it's like that.
Now that we are here, you understand the another headline there. I don't know about this your POS people. There's something that government can deal with. NSC and TUC they're mobilizing for strike, but on top of it is the electricity part of it. At minimum wage, yes, electricity. Is it true that labor are also not realistic?
Yeah, they say from now till 31st.
I
Let's
Why,
see.
agree.
why,
I'm not
why,
talking
why do you say that, Daddy Chris?
about the electricity challenge. The question is how will the federal government make money back and give us good electricity if we don't pay?
But maybe the hike is too much. That's what they're telling you.
Yes, okay, maybe it's time now to insist and say we must have. You see, we now make a demand. If you're charging us this, we want to see the electricity for use. You understand? Let it be constructive. Not they cut it. If the federal government say this is what they need for it to be sustainable, so be it. But you know what? I wouldn't want to pay for something I'm not getting. Like we see now in case. That is understandable. But if the money needed for these things to run, so be it. Charge. I'm not against high charges. I'm against non-service rendered. Electricity in Nigeria is a challenge today. I'm sure you guys will be happy to pay more. Like they pay more in Cotonou. When I was in Cotonou the last time, you don't have nobody on normal
Daddy,
80 bob.
Daddy Chris, Daddy
Yes, ma'am.
Chris, Daddy Chris, this is not obtainable. Let's be sincere. Nigeria is not UK, Daddy Chris.
No,
I
I'm
have lived
talking
in
of Cotonou.
Nigeria.
Nigeria
Yeah,
Let's
is
talk
Nigeria
about
is talking about Cotonou. I'm
hold
talking
on,
about
Daddy
Benin
Chris.
Republic. I didn't use UK.
Oh,
Cotonou.
hold on, Daddy Chris. No, hold on, Daddy Chris. If we're talking about minimum wage, the government is yet to meet up to, and you are bringing electricity. These workers they go to work. The PMS is very expensive. Food is very expensive. No health insurance. Haba,
at
this is not fair
all.
on the people.
And if
Yes.
You
you don't even
cannot
go to the
increase
electricity
No,
part,
what
until
I
until
agree.
Daddy Chris, until the issue of minimum wage is resolved, the government has no rights.
Okay,
They have no
agree.
right to increase nothing.
Now you make sense. Now you're making
Now
sense.
look
But
at
when you equate the two, when the two is put together, that's why I say, are they realistic? You understand? First, sir, let us solve one thing, minimum wage. That your electricity tariff, keep am for corner first. We'll go talk
no,
about
no,
that.
no, no,
Okay, now.
because no, that increase because if they are labor, this is what they're supposed to do. This is their jurisdiction. If they don't put a stop to it now, while they are fighting this one, the government will succeed in imposing this one. So it will be a
yes,
fruitless thing at the end of the day. So if we are to apparently that's why labor is even telling you that 100,000 minimum wage is not
It's
realistic
an
because
insult.
look
It's an
at
insult.
look at the hike in everything. Everything is expensive in Nigeria,
everything.
you know. Every single
If
thing.
they add
And so
all these
some
things,
of the
you
people
cannot focus
supposed to
on one
survive.
thing.
All
Yes.
right.
Even
That's
the
a
workers are not happy. Look at this story on Punch that we missed. Tariff hike. Workers lock at minister issue 14 days ultimatum. This is
you
a
see,
very serious issue. Nobody is finding it funny. Even the rich. You cannot buy tariff and before you see it, within 2 days, it's off. Where will the money come from? How much is your salary?
Princess, the Nigerian
the
NEPA, they're
question,
complaining about bypass.
I don't know which ministry is that. I can't
They're
wait to see
complaining
that.
about bypass as
Before they
well.
lock up their minister, all I'm still going to ask them, Princess, today I'm saying two things. You know, I'm a very strong advocate. Minimum wage should be 1 million naira. Get it? But are the workers
In which
working?
country? In Nigeria.
Yeah, we can do it, Mary. The government cannot pay if unless the government start to make money.
It's not going
We
to be
will
possible.
continue to drag and drag and drag until they start to make money. You see, it's easy to tell me, pay you this amount of money. Where do I get the money from? Let us be sincere there. So I like your language. I'm using your language. Let us be sincere, Mary. That's what you always say to me. Let us be sincere. So we are trying to be sincere. How can the government make the money? So I agree with Princess. There are certain things that must not be mentioned until these are in place. And I completely agree with the electricity tariff here. Otherwise, I was wondering. But maybe our concern today would be anytime government is carrying out this lottery money that they stole from somewhere, or I don't know how they got the money, because somebody is spending some 2 point something trillion wait on electricity on road to Calabar. He's doing another one on housing. He's doing another one on this. He's giving some amount of student loan. The question is, where is the government getting money? It
They
will
are
be,
borrowing
see,
because
and
if
at
you
the point in time, Princess, we are borrowing our children's destiny.
because look at this story. If you go to
Is that
Guardian,
what?
you will see FG has reached 75% of domestic borrowing target for 2024,
Who is that?
and so it's borrowing.
On this one, right?
Guide them. Check
Yes, yes, the
the light
Guardian.
story. The light blue story. The color.
Wow. All right. You see, these are the kind of things we should be worried about. You understand? Perhaps our concern. We're going to go on a quick break because we didn't take a break anyhow. Come on, take a quick one. And then when we come back, we'll try and look at more. I think we're looking at, I mean, maybe it's my philosophy. That's why sometimes I vote Labour in the UK, but I agree with the conservative policy on the economy. You understand? Because sometimes Labour, they just spend money as if they win lottery. You understand? So nobody want to trust them with the economy. I'm talking of the UK system. You guys may not be aware of what I'll be very close to what I'm talking about. Because the policy of the UK here is when you Labour win government, they spend. They don't want to give free education. They want to give this. They want to give this. It's not going to be free. It was only at the end of the day Tony Blair realized that, we cannot afford free education that we'll be talking about. So he now gave loan. He began to indirectly privatize some of the things that government were running before. The NHS was going to go down. You understand? We want to get free hospital, we'll spend money. Where is the money coming from? That's what the conservative are always asking. Where is the money coming from? You want to spend this, where is the money coming from? So as we look at, because I'm so experienced here, I follow the system, even in the US. And that's why we say, you want to spend money, okay, spend it. But where is the money coming from? If Nigeria is not making money from oil, where will we be today, Mary? How can you marry a wife who only spend and does not make money? Any family that just spend money and don't make money, what will happen to them?
They'll go broke now.
The children will be taken as slaves.
You cannot be spending without getting income. It's not going to be possible.
That's where we are. So let's go on a quick break. When we come back, maybe we digest that. Let Nigerians digest that difficult thing. Your government is spending money like some people that win lottery. You know how they win lottery? Where the money they come from? Now they ask. Well, we must pay this. Everybody have some sense of entitlement. We saw it with the labor movement. We saw it with the strike, which is what we'll be seeing with the lecturers who don't do their jobs and they want the best. You take our girls as your wives. They go to school for your pleasure. The boys pay every day. And yet you have your mouth to come out and say, hey, we are not well paid. Your colleagues, everyone talk. When I talk to them, they compare colleagues outside. Does your colleague outside, do they collect handouts? Do they collect money from handouts? Do they sleep our guests for marks? We'll go on the break. When we come back, we will talk the matter again. Don't go away.
Ooh la la, the second edition of the Nigerian Week London 2024 is here.
It's another blend of arts and culture, entertainment, business and networking activities.
A week-long extravaganza showcasing the best of Nigerian music, dance, craft, fashion and businesses.
Taking place at the prestigious Lighthouse Theatre, 262-274 Camberwell Road, London, SE5 Date 22nd to 28 July 2024.
Tickets are available at everbright.com. For partnership and sponsorship, please visit superiorradioandtelevision.com
or call +4407 459 513 619 or +4420 3623 8755.
Email info@superiorradioandtelevision.com or visit our website www.superiorradioandtelevision.com/Nigerian Week 2024.
Come and experience a nation's culture that resides in the heart and in the soul of its people.
All right, let's get intimate for the rest of the show. This is how we do it. When we get intimate, we're now very close. The screen is close on us. All right, let's do the remaining show being intimate.
It's close, but I think Mary is too high, so it's not working.
You don't know what to do with Mary. She's higher than every one of us. Thank God she's in the middle. So
let me go down.
Don't worry, we are cool. Don't worry, we manage.
Anyway, there is this story. I really want us to look at the Guardian. Look at this breakdown because we're talking about how to sustain the economy. We're talking about federal government, borrowing so much. We're talking about, ways to that the Chris was asking. We spend so much money, but how is the government making this money? Now, this is the good thing about the Guardian. If you look at this story, school feeding of 10 million kids, and now there's a breakdown on that story. And the headline here says FJ in dilemma as inflation spikes meal budget to 540 billion naira. Now you can see the amount they spend on pepper, spaghetti, tomatoes, beans, noodles, semovita, rice, chicken, and gari. Now I want us to look at this very headline critically. Look at these children that are being fed with the amounts we just mentioned. Do they look like children being fed with this amount?
No.
They don't. They don't.
It's a moment of reality.
Are properly fed, now. It's not something you hide. It will be obvious. You see how fresh and
we remember a governor, I think from Kano or Kaduna, went to a school and unannounced at the meal period, their lunch break. And what the governor saw was horrifying. A dried looking rice, no good vegetables, nothing without protein. So when we get this amount, this is another way of looting. And it's only when parents cannot afford these things for their children that the government is not taking it upon themselves to do this. This is another way of looting the resources. We're talking about, this is for a quarter or a year. This estimated, this breakdown we're seeing here. And look at the whopping, the next thing, they will tell you 1 trillion naira for feeding kids that are not even eating well, not looking well as well. And then the government keeps borrowing. Is there any need for this, Mary?
Honestly, it's just so annoying. That's why I'm saying that one of the problems in the country is greed and selfishness. Like in every sector, there's always greed and selfishness. So you can imagine if you say school feeding of 10 million kids and you cannot even feed them properly. Tell me, where are we going to from here? These children will still suffer for the situation in the countries. These kids that know nothing and they still try to siphon the money for their feeding. It's really not making. So I'm asking myself, the person that even took this picture, is it that they don't think properly, or they think that we will see this, we don't know that these children are not properly fed? It's not making any sense at all. If these people can just stop being greedy and do the needful, honestly, things will be better. Look at the amount they stated here. We know that this thing is just a fallacy because it's not possible at all. We know that there's increase in the price of food. Food is expensive, but they are not. They are taking advantage of this project, feeding the school children. They are the one eating this money. They are not doing anything. They are not feeding these children. You'll be shocked that these children sometimes they don't even feed 3 times a day. You'll be so surprised to see that they might even just be drinking gari without sugar. They are not properly fed. That's it.
What about, me, I was thinking that, Chris, what about, providing, we're talking about, this is still on the education system now. This is part of it because we're talking about school children here. Is this really necessary? That is what I'm asking. What
If
about, providing for the parent being well to do? And so in those days when we go to school, we had lunch boxes. And even though I know that my younger ones actually went to school being fed, because that's a Catholic school. They are reverend sisters. And so the school is quite expensive because of that as well. And they eat good food. I can attest to that. I've been to their classes unannounced. I've even sometimes, my younger ones will put the food in their own lunch box and bring back home. So they eat good food. It's not about, not eating well, but it's a see federal government can no longer sustain this. So is there any need for this?
yeah,
If it's
that's
the private sector, they are always doing it well. But anything government wants to do is not a problem. We can see that the kids are not looking well. Government is now in dilemma. So what's the need of continuing with spending so much money, and then we're trying to say let's revive the education system? So for me, I would think that this should actually be stopped. Maybe when we think of how to provide, how the parents, to back the government school, the parents as well. It's better, you give free education to them, let the parent give them food. I don't know what to say about this, but this is not looking
well.
well. The children,
Yeah, Princess, my
it's not.
take on this is I'll go
Mm.
back to Fubara and Wiki. All right. Uh, at the point in time, you get to fight back. All right. The pressure is on the government, and we're gonna be. And they are not doing the right thing. Some of them are bloody ignorance. You understand? But the pressure is not on them. I expect the way I call on the Fubara to fight Wiki back. All right. I fed the federal government now to fight back and say, okay, if you want such amount of money, we'll give to you, but this is what I want to. You understand? These people that work with me, and I said to them, I don't believe anybody work for me. You work with me. And I said to them, if you do this, okay, this is what the company need, not me. You understand? This is what Nigeria need. Take a look at these keys now, right? The keys, it's not as if the resources is not there. So I'm giving you this money to go and do this. Like you rightly said, there is a governor that show up unannounced to correct the system. Please say this system can be correct today. If our ministers or our governors or our president are not too old to move their asses and see where they put the money is. You can't put your money somewhere and you don't follow up where if that money is being put to good use or not. You understand? Why will I spend this whopping amount of money on children education and I'm not sure the children are being well fed? It's my job to follow up where I put my money. You know what I think? Because the money is not their own. It's our own. It's Nigeria own. It doesn't concern them. But at the end of the day, we're all suffering. Princess, even it concerns you and me because you just mentioned the security just now. Anything have ripple effect. So the government should follow up on anything they put their money. You know, put money on children's school fees. I want to make sure the school are. I'm going. Look at federal government today releasing this amount of money and say this is now what we're going to give to student and student loan. I want to be sure that this money we're not paying to the universities and the school are not getting the students are not getting the best of education because that is what I want to achieve. I want to achieve a result which is good education that will make me have quality human beings who will run my sectors and even export some of them to bring me money. So if I am investing this money directly or indirectly through the student loan scheme, I want to make sure the money is bringing results. If I put money into this kind of sector to feed children, I want to be sure that children are well fed so they will have the right psychic and study well because this is when the brain develops. This is the age, it's very important age for a child. And so if these are very important, Princess, you know what my really take tonight is I'm happy to have this discussion, but really one thing I think we are missing is we are a wicked generation looking at what we are doing for our children. Because if we let's put it this way. I'm going to use Delta State more than others. Delta, I'm not using your case alone. You understand? If as at the time Ibori was in government, Ibori has embarked on projects that is bringing money to the state, not spending as if he won lottery. Eh? Then not spending only on road. So when Ibori was creating industries, farms, today those industries will be making more money. Then Oduwa would have continued to build more. And then the state would have been growing, and then the other Okowa would have spent more money to build more. You see, the state would have been growing. Today, Oboriwani will not be suffering. But we will now build more. What we would have done is we have built a future for our children. But from Iboriti now, what they've done is spend money as if they won lottery. So understanding what is governance is important first. These guys don't have a clue. And we don't even know what to ask from them. Oh, they give us road with a dance. You understand? He give us hospital with a dance. We don't ask. This money, where it come from? How are we going to even sustain it? Have you seen any project that is sustained in Delta State? Something they started that is still working. Every government will come
I
and do.
think I think I think that Chris, you said it all. Sometimes, I don't understand why we have this nonchalant attitude towards work in Nigeria, where somebody is supposed to assume office and is supposed to be active, but they go to bed. I don't know why. Because if these things are being monitored, you see that people will actually learn to do the right thing.
Destiny
People
of
will want to always, because they don't know when you will show up, because you show up on daily basis.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And so I remember where I was working a private media, and once the CEO is not usually around, but once he's around, he walks in without even the manager knowing. He just comes in. He wouldn't allow the driver to hang the. We just walk down, come through the gates, enter the office, and whenever he sees you standing without doing nothing, is a problem, and you're
Yes.
fired. Or
Yes.
whenever he sees a dirt on the floor, the cleaner is fired. So
Yes.
because of this, we were always conscious. We were always trying to get busy. We were always looking for something to do, because the next minute he would just walk in. And so I think when people when people actually know why they are appointed into different offices, we won't be finding these issues. Look at these kids, nobody's monitoring how this money, billions of nairas are being spent on the children's feeding. They will go, they apparently give them one dry noodles without nothing, no tomato, no pepper, no egg. Even when the children are not willing to eat, you force them to eat this rubbish you make for them, just because you want to create a point, snap them from this standard. Okay, they've been fed. Anyway, let's move on to the Daily Trust now before we wrap up the show. There's a story that I really want us to look at. It's still on the economy, trying to revive Nigeria. Bandits in military uniform adopt 20 in Abuja. This is where we've talked about that before. Who gives them this uniform and the guns? But look at the first story there that caught my attention. Kano governor buys 2.7 billion naira vehicles for lawmakers. One
Princess,
costing.
before you continue, this Kano state government, I don't know why SRTV gave them award, but I'm confused now. On Guardian, no, on Guardian, if you look at the Guardian, you see, Guardian is saying Kano government releases 376 million to complement pilgrimage. Those going on pilgrimage. Pilgrimage.
Okay, and then that means we have two stories coming from there today,
Hello.
and then we
And this is another one.
and then we're still seeing here that Kano governor
Yeah.
buys 2.7 billion vehicles for lawmakers. And
Good.
I want these vehicles are SUV Toyota brand, and of course they are actually at 68 million naira for one each.
It's too much.
Princess, no, the question I'm going to ask you people from Kano State is, so these are your priorities. And the question, not even talk about priorities now. The question is, where is the money coming from? That if only a government, only a very rich man that doesn't have something to do with money, we say, oh, go and pilgrimage, take this money and go. Do you understand? Do you know at this time we're talking now, Nigerian state is still releasing money for people to go to Israel, to go and pray, to go to Mecca and pray. You understand? The people are hungry. Is that our priorities? And if you know, it's okay to spend the money, but where is the money coming from, my people? I know it's okay to hate me. I'm a pagan, whatever you say, but where is the money coming from? You see, by the time you don't ask yourself, you don't ask our government, this money you are spending now, because the money you are spending, suppose they're going to pilgrimage and they bring in something that will bring back something back, then I will say spend it. I will not spend my state money the way I will not spend SRTV money on project that will not bring money back, because we're going to fall tomorrow. It's
I
about
just I
they will not
just
do this
think
to their own
I
business.
just think this is, as much as this is laughable,
It's
this
not.
is very heartbreaking.
It is. Princess, we should be worried.
I am worried.
We
I
should.
am worried that this governor, this new Kano State governor, all he has done so far is to demolish houses of oppositions and to start sponsoring trips abroad. And of course, now I started buying cars. So I'm very worried about
And
that
giving
state.
money for people to go to Mecca. No, let's say it all. No, all these. In fact, where is governance in all? Where is governance in all this? Sorry, guys, the essence of having a government is to manage the resources of the state.
You
And I
just
keep
are not.
saying it again. Princess, Mona, quote me. One day, Nigerian government, you guys will see what I'm saying. The only reason Tinubu is suffering is the work of the former governors, president, because they did not do one thing. They did not invest in something that is bringing back money. All of them are done. You see, somebody discovered oil. That's what we'll be feeding. No other president has thought about as good luck they make mouth reach una dey praise good luck. Good luck as intelligent as a doctor could not invest in other sector of the Nigerian economy. All they go there is to share the money. Oh, money don't come, let's share it. So Nigeria is sharing. Every day we receive money from oil, we share. We receive money from oil, we share. That's why the states are also receiving and sharing. The local government are receiving and sharing. In fact, it's now our culture to receive and share. Where the money is coming from, we don't know. Now our children are in debt. Clap for yourself. Now Nigerian children are in debt because of what do you call it now? Is it national attitude? That's a cheap word to use. Because of our evil act. Our children are in debt that they cannot pay for being born in Nigeria. But being born with a green passport, they've cost nothing. In fact, God gave it all to us. But all our leaders have done so far is take the money and share. I have said the princess, the litmus test of every government is to tell me what they have done in their years in office that is bringing money. I asked Okowa. Okowa, you were governor of Delta State for 8 years. What did you put in Delta State that is bringing money? You see that wicked when they misbehaved there. He should go to prison. What has he done with the whole money that went into that place? You see, wicked coming to dance. He done the commission bridge. He done they do this. Una they dance with her. I tell you, sometimes I'm so angry. And I said that one, he should be in prison. For sending children in you've impoverished our children. The future generation, they will ask you. What I said today, they will ask you tomorrow. Maybe you're dead then. They will bring you down. If anything they give you as honor, they will take it out and shame you. Because you have put them in debt that they didn't plan for. Nigeria debt today was not caused by us. This guy asked Okowa, all this money they borrow, who won't pay? We thought it was a joke. We laugh over it. It's not a joke. What we're talking about today is too big, Princess, to joke. Our government spend money. Look at Kano State government. You spend money the whole governor, you have money to pay SUV. You have money to pay for bike to send people to Mecca.
This is very worrisome, and I do hope that the opposition or even experts, economic experts in that state will be up and doing, calling him out to explain, because this is unthinkable. Anyway, there's a story here also that says under the main headline that is disturbing as well. 2 attackers captured. That is coming from the police, and we saw a story here that says estates buy pump action, other weapons for vigilantes. But the most worrisome story here is that we have been tasked to fix police vehicle. Now, this is coming from the residents.
Is it not funny? Now the citizens, this is the same government that have money to send people to pilgrimage.
Resident with this police vehicle.
Nigerian government. I'm not talking of only Kano now. I know the Nigerian states have money to send people on pilgrimage, buy SUVs for politicians. And now the residents are spending money to do the primary aims of government.
Even politics is not sounding like comedy right now.
It's comedy. It's comedy.
Because normally when you go to the police to lay a complaint, there is maybe a robbery attack ongoing, we need you. They'll tell you we don't have fuel, guy. First of all, we'll go and buy fuel. And as it stands now, first of all, use your
man, what a country.
Anyway, I've been to the police at 9 because my security guy was arrested. I actually sent him to fix my fan, and I went to work very early. I got back in the evening, and I was told that He was arrested and he stole the fan. I don't know how that happened. I went to the station very late at night with the receipt, and I was very angry. And of course, with my ID card and everything. And the police said, first of all, for them to see me very well, they have to buy candle. They don't have light, no NEPA. And all that. I can't, I can't forget that incident somewhere at Yanyan, Yanyan police. And that was
Police.
how even me, I started laughing. I went there very angry, but I started laughing that this is a joke. And
Okay.
Anyway, God will help us in that country because I don't know what to say again. Security agencies, I don't know what to say. Now that's why I will always back state community policing. Let our guys, our boys do the things, Leave these people alone with their
But,
plenty
but, but, but they
protocol.
pay our police. I thought they pay them every month. Plus the money they collect from people on the road. Like, I did that broke.
Is what we're saying, lack of accountability, people that are supposed to be responsible and not being responsible. When the money comes from people, supposed leaders, or that are supposed to make sure that these things are properly done, when they cut away with the money, loot the money, what do you expect? When the head is bad, the body what becomes of the body? Anyway, a very funny story here that says I need 35 different visas to travel within Africa. That is coming from Dangote. And I don't care because you're a big man. Of course, you will be given visa. What of us that will keep applying, or people that keep applying? So we don't no consign us. All the money you're using to buy our cement or buying, you can use it to transport yourself to look for visa. Because I saw the story, I actually saw the video. He was lamenting that how can within Africa we have different passports here and there to access this country. So I think he's trying to advocate for one Africa
Thank
where
you.
we can use the same
So
currency, the
let's
same
put it in
passport,
context.
everything the same. That is the
Princess,
point of
but Dangote is saying a very, very important thing. He said, I know, I mean, it's not for him. It's a shame that we travel within Africa with visas. And if you know what the Europeans have done, sorry, I have to bring them in from time to time because I'm here. You don't, in fact, they cannot walk anywhere. It's not that UK that left. Princess, now that you are here, you will see the Bulgarians, all of them. They came in here to come and look for a job. They now travel within one another without any restriction. You understand? And their goods are now moving from one place to the other. Let me say this once. Let me say something here. Do you know that Nigerians today, there may be something good in Ghana that will be used. It's not going to come to Nigeria. Nigeria will go and buy from UK and buy from America, buy from China. Ghana will buy from China, America. But what we can sell to ourselves is not happening. Let me use a very easy example. Do you know what made Nigerian movies successful? Because of our population. You release movie, it goes straight. You release music, it goes straight into the mainstream because we have the population. Africa is a nation of about 1 point something billion people. That is a lot. Princess, imagine that big economy. What are we doing with the really traveling visas? To what? Yesterday you raised one issue on Saturday or so of the border issue between Nigeria and Nigeria, and I was against it. So there should be no border at all. These borders were drawn by colonial masters. These were people living together before. No, sometimes we don't get this. If you go to Cotonou, Dahomey, there were people from Nigeria that went there. Benin was really to that area. Dahomey were like Isha people. They do how to do. They see today their food to be their thing. You understand? So you can imagine, these were people, one of us. One drawn, French don't claim one, English don't take some, and we are celebrating it. In fact, we are playing into that gallery. If Africa will come with one currency, we forget better currency today. And so what this man is saying is correct. You understand? What he's saying is very correct. We need to have a state where an Africa, in fact, that was the vision of our forefathers. Dr. Nkrumah was crying. He said, my time, my children will fight. I'm fighting for the independence of Ghana. But his children, Kwame Nkrumah, will fight for the United States of Africa. Till today, our African leaders are so selfish, thinking of what they're going to get. The Organization of African Unity was a loose union because they could not arrive at United States for Africa, they come up with the Organization of African Unity, which is nothing today. Today, Africa is the least developed continent in the world because we are deeply divided. 54 nations in that small place. One economy. Listen, the economy of California is you can put the whole of West African economy put together. It's not up to one state in America. So we are saying we are celebrating. What are we doing? Which of the do you know the money they use in Cotonou? What's the name?
Is it not Cephas?
That's than French money. Ghana, see this. Now,
Cities.
Yes.
Naira is piece of paper. I don't know the one. If you go to maybe Niger now, Cephas too. So, princess, what are we doing to ourselves? You understand? What the man said, I think is correct. It's time our children, whether we like it or not, our children will fight for the United States of Africa. It will come. And the movement will come from Europe. I said to them in Europe, the people that fought for independence of Africa started from here. Nkrumah was in America, they had a meeting here in Manchester, and they went home to fight for Africa. Maybe you people that are here now, Princess, you are now in UK. People will be fighting for the United States for Africa. God bless you, kids.
Anyway, one Africa we are clamoring for. That would be a good place to wrap up the show today. Time well spent, and of course, we say well done to Daddy Chris and well done to Mary. Thank you so much, viewers, for being on the show. Do not forget to subscribe to our social media handles, follow us, like, share, and of course, leave us with your comments. We'd love to hear from you. And as well, do well to our shortlets. Very beautiful homes, home away from home, where you could go to for your birthdays, bridal shower, conferences, meetings, church activities, and even to work, you can do everything because it's like a home, not a apartments where you have everything inside. You have a standard kitchen, bathroom, everything, and of course even cars to take you around. So do well to get across to us, reach out to us. We're at your service, just a call away. We have in Lagos and of course in Abuja. And don't forget also the Nigerian week that is fast approaching. You can showcase your brand with us. No matter what you do, no matter how little it is, it's a way of you reckoning with the world. The world is a global village today. And just a call away, of course, we will be right here for you. So do what to partner with us, showcase your brand, whatever you do. We have a lot of activities lined up, the fashion show, the food show, we have the business summit, we have the film festival, and of course, we're talking about real estate, everything. It is going to be jam-packed full of activities. So do well to reach out to us to be part of the Nigerian work. We want to celebrate our heritage, our culture, our good people, home and abroad. So do well to be part of the show. And of course, don't forget our monthly magazine. This month's edition is actually out. That's another way for you to showcase yourself, your amazing self, your brand, your businesses, and anything you do. And of course, anything you do, NGO, anything at all, just call us and we'll be right there for you. And of course, magazines are archives. These are things you can use as souvenirs. You can use as, to entertain your guests, your business partners, and anything. And so it's something that you will be happy for or with. Anyway, thank you so much for being on the show today. Like we always say, one Africa we are clamoring for, and we as Nigerians do where you know what is right, do the right thing, and others will look at you and follow suit as well. Don't forget to drink water, mind your business, and of course, drive carefully, obey the traffic laws. We'll see you again on the show tomorrow. I remain yours truly, Princess Kessie. Bye.
Looking for a home away from home in Abuja? Look no further than SRTV Shortlet Apartments. Our fully furnished apartments offers everything you need for a comfortable and relaxing stay. Unwind in spacious rooms with exquisite ambience. Cook delicious meals in our well-equipped kitchen and relax in our comfortable sitting rooms watching your favorite shows. And guess what? 247 Wi-Fi available. But that's not all. SRTV goes extra mile by providing a car to take you around town during your stay. No need to worry about navigating public transportation or hailing taxis. Explore Abuja at your own pace. Book your SRTV Shortlet apartment today and experience the perfect blend of comfort and convenience. You can
SRTV. Innovative.